Salutations, my fellow lovers. It is Matty here with week 55 of the H.A.M Radio Podcast.
My name is Noah, and according to the meters and readings on my arc, Matt is sick as a dog this week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody, it's Scribe Slendy. I'm back. Jesus
again.
Christ. Again. I can't believe we're at 55. It's been a while since I was on, but it's good to be back.
And then our final guest, the most anticipated one of all time.
You've been asked so much. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Max.
Oh my god.
Anticlimactic, but we love it.
No, it's his channel intro. He like goes into I'm Max. It's like it's so good.
I'm sorry.
Anyways.
Right. So, as always, Sugar Bomb link down below, as is our t-shirt store. Also, we're available on iTunes if you want to listen on the go. And then, as always, we like to bring on new guests, whether they are fans of celebrities. So go ahead and answer the question with the hashtag HamRadioTime by tagging any of the handles you see on screen. Did Automatron live up to your expectations? Let us know on Twitter. Before we get into the Bethesda News Roundup, I think we need to ask Max a few questions.
Yes. I'm very curious about things with you, Max.
Yeah.
What are the inspiration behind your rather interesting comments?
Maddie.
Maddie, yeah. Do they just come from the heart?
The penis.
Oh, okay.
God damn it all.
Makes sense.
This really is the H.A.M Radio Podcast, damn.
And your videos, I don't know if everyone's seen his videos, but the videos are very interesting. They're good. I think they're funny.
They are funny. They're kind of meme inspired.
Do you just kind of like throw stuff together?
Well, I just start thinking about things, and then I'm like, yeah, I like that, so I just put it in there, and then there you go.
There you go. His latest one has some little bit of hentai sprinkled in. So,
Oh shit, what's your channel name? Fuck.
It's YouTube Hell, right?
Yeah, but you can't find it on YouTube. You can just type like Leafy Hell, and it'll be like the second video.
Oh dear God. I'm on it. You said hentai. You got my attention. Let's go.
That's an awful thing to confess. This is the weirdest shit already. All right. Well, we'll talk about something that most of the viewers came here for, the Bethesda News Roundup. So
They didn't come here for that.
yeah, no, they came from Max. So Fallout 4's Automatron DLC dropped this week, so it's time for us to give our thoughts on that.
Contrary to everyone's belief, before you write your comment, I bet Noah hasn't even played it, honestly. Fuck him. No, I haven't beaten it, but I have played it. I like it. It's my opinion.
I beat it. I thought it was all right. I thought it was just solid. It wasn't like amazing.
I think for $10, it's
Yeah, no, for $10, you could certainly find worse things to spend your money on.
yeah.
I think they like I said in my review, I think they goofed up on one thing, which was the end game. I won't spoil what happens, but basically once you beat the DLC, it unlocks all the mods for you.
Yes.
Oh,
And yeah, and so now there's like no point to do the Radiant quests afterwards, which involve you hunting robots. So you just kind of have everything to play with right away, which is like a standard Bethesda move, but it was almost too generous. Where I was like, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, Max, you haven't played it yet, but are you? I'm sure you're going to.
Of course.
Nice.
Okay. So I mean, you guys said you think it's worth the $10 though. I would agree with that. I mean, the modeling they did for some of those parts,
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it that quickly.
There's
Like, I was
also new
talking-
voice. I'm so sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
I do that a lot. You can talk over me.
There's like new voice actors, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a Ada, Jezebel, obviously the Mechanist. Yeah, there's only a small amount of new characters now you mention it.
Yeah.
And then obviously, the protagonists. I really like the Rust Devils, I think they're called.
Yes.
That was a neat faction.
I thought that was a really cool idea. And they actually, I didn't realize this until yesterday when I was getting gameplay for a video, that they actually roam the wasteland now. Like,
okay.
I was just walking
shit,
around. Yeah, I was like leaving an area, and there was just a bunch of robots and a couple of Rust Devils
They'll
walking
attack
around.
your settlements too. I was
Yeah,
at
that's
the
pretty
Red
lit.
Rocket. I was at the Red Rocket or whatever the hell it's called, the gas station, and they came over the hill, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, now my question is, do they, I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know if they show up only after you've triggered the first Automatron quest, or are they just gonna be there once you have it installed? Because I plan on making a new character when survival mode comes out, and I don't know if I need to brace for him or not.
I don't know.
No idea.
All right.
Good luck though, because that DLC, I died so many times.
That was tough as shit, man.
Yeah.
What?
The DLC?
An Automatron?
Yeah.
What difficulty do you play on?
I haven't died yet.
What difficulty do you play on?
No, the normal.
Very
one.
easy.
No, I just play on the normal.
I play on very hard because my character's in that
so
OP
cool.
state. I'm just saying is he's in that OP state, so it's like it's more fun that way. But like some of the robots that you kill, just they self-destruct after you empty their health bar.
Fucking annoying.
Yeah, so I died. I think I counted 6 times from that, and I raged each time individually because it's like it was like almost like a mini nuke kind of thing. You know how like they have such a large explosion radius in the game? Like it was like that.
Yeah, well, and the worst part was all of the legendary enemies did it, but every now and then a non-legendary enemy did it. So I had to step away from every fucking robot I killed because I didn't know if they were going to destruct or not.
Well, yeah, I got the robotics expert perk, so anytime I saw a legendary enemy, I just go into my Pip-Boy and deactivate it and just keep going on.
Wow.
Easy mode.
Yeah, and I'd shoot it until it was dead. I don't know. It made life a lot easier.
Matty enjoys the game. That's how it's.
I have a
meant to be
laser
played.
sniper rifle that I've modded, so now it's just obnoxiously OP, and that's kind of like my weapon of choice.
I got an M14 mod, like a gun.
Oh, okay.
And dude, easy mode all day long. You can modify the ballistics on it, or the
Really?
ammunition rather. So I got hard target ammunition that does like 25% more damage to robots. And no, that was easy mode, like for the rest of the game.
I have a double barrel shotgun that does explosive damage, and it's a legendary, and it destroys robots.
I
Like,
have
'cause it
that
just
same
shoots
one,
the
but
armor. Yeah.
it's automatic. I got the automatic version, so I'll just like 25 rounds in the clip, and just go ham on them.
Oh, okay.
25 rounds in the clip, and I go ham on him. God, yeah. I can't laugh without sounding like a jackass.
It's like that time I had laryngitis and.
No, did you hear when I tried to laugh? It's like, like I couldn't even get a normal sound out.
Tentacles.
So what I really appreciated about this DLC was that it seemed like a natural expansion of everything in Fallout 4 already.
Mm-hmm.
Like you needed parts for everything. You ended up scavenging anything you could possibly find again. It was about building stuff, using the settlement. I really liked it.
Console commands for everything.
Really? You cheat? You call me a cheater?
All right. I really wanted to build I want to turn Codsworth into a really fast assassin robot, and I just did not want to go looking for giddy up buttercups and adhesive.
Oh, I could.
So I cheesed it a little.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm disappointed.
Can I ask a
let myself
question?
down.
Yes, you may, Max.
Okay, so does the DLC, does it like add dialogue to all the other characters?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Honestly,
So it's
I don't believe so.
So they don't like know what's going on with the Automatron stuff?
Now that you mention it, they never really comment on it or anything.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't believe so. Now that's actually an interesting question. It would be neat to kind of go to the, if you still have the institution of, the ability to go there, kind of go there and talk to them and see, if they make any comment on it.
I actually was working. I hadn't beat the game, so I went after I beat Automatron. I went to go talk to the Institute a little bit, and I never heard them comment anything about robots. So I imagine it's because they would have to bring in all of the voice actors again to record those.
Right.
But that is kind of a shame that they passed up the opportunity for people to comment on the evolving nature of the wasteland.
Well, I hope that with Far Harbor they add new lines for all the companions.
Far Harbor's
and
gonna be
stuff.
so lit.
Because that would make the most sense, is them commenting on new stuff on the island, just like a handful of lines for each companion. That would be what I'd say is necessary.
Absolutely.
Well, because they did that with Broken Steel. Going back to Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once Broken Steel happened, there was all of the extra dialogue with that.
It's weird. In Fallout 4, I always have a companion, but in 3 in New Vegas, I never used companions, ever.
Really?
Yeah, I swear.
I was the same way.
Yeah, I always went Lone Wanderer. It
Well,
wasn't
I think
I'm role playing or anything. I just did that.
In 4, though, they push it a lot more. It's much more prevalent.
I just use them as carriers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Also, in New Vegas in 3, they didn't really have that deep of a backstory, in my opinion, in comparison to the ones in 4.
Yeah. No, the ones in 4 are much more amped up in the whole, like what else has gone on their lives before and after you got there.
It's much more a part of the game.
They feel like actual people and not backpacks.
Yeah, although I still,
Yeah, they're still backpacks, but at least they're like
backpacks
interesting
and personalities.
I found
There you go.
some X01 power armor.
Same.
In the DLC, and I got into that shit, and I was like, nice.
Oh, was it in the compound for the Raiders?
Yep, it's the same place where you find Jezebel.
Yep, the fort Hagen. I went down there, I opened it up, and I just looked to the left, and I was like, oh my god.
I was like, yeah. But
I really enjoyed the new dungeons in the DLC. Like
they are
done. They were really big areas too.
Yeah.
Especially the Mechanist Lair, like holy shit, that place is huge.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's huge.
Oh, that may be my favorite dungeon.
No spoilers.
It takes like almost an hour to get through. It felt like I could be wrong, but
no, easy an hour. And I mean the boss fight's pretty impressive.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. I ain't about that life. But the boss fight is actually it's more of a boss fight than you get throughout the rest of the game, at least as far as I've gone.
Max, I'm on your side. I don't want spoilers.
Thanks, man.
But. No, it's a all in all for $10. If you don't have the season pass for $10, it's definitely I think worth it.
Yeah.
At least if you want more Fallout.
If it was 20, I'd be like, but $10, it's pretty solid.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, and if you haven't played it, don't start a new character for it because, like we said, it's tough. I think there's like a level 15 requirement.
Yeah, you gotta be level 15 to play it.
15 or 10?
15.
15.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that kind of bothered me, and I was reading it in some of the reviews. Unless you spec'd down like robotics and armor building and stuff, you're not going to get to make most of the robots. Like that kind
Well, that's actually one of the questions we got this week, so we may as well mention it now, just because that's a perfect topic.
Okay, yeah.
Because Metals is Life said, "Do you think Automatron is inaccessible since customization options are locked behind perks? I can barely use any with my build right now." And that's very true because I was locked off from a lot of stuff because I didn't have the robotics expert perk. Now, mind you. My first character, when I ever make it in like a Bethesda game, I go for the I can do everything kind of build. And so for that, I focused on like settlements and crafting before anything. So I had most of this stuff, but I didn't have robotics expert. Now, I'm about level 71 right now, but fortunately I was close to leveling up. So I did manage to level up and pick the robotics expert and have all the options available. But I've heard that a lot of people haven't been able to access some of the stuff in the DLC. But I see, that's not a bad thing. Like people complain when Bethesda doesn't make it where like you got to make choices and stuff, and that there isn't consequences. But when there is, and your build doesn't work out for something, people bitch. Yeah.
You're going back to Deus Ex, where like if you didn't spec the right way, you couldn't even beat the fucking game sometimes.
Oh my god! Don't even start.
First Deus Ex, or what was the other? System Shock 2 was the other one. Like, if you don't spec right and you get late game, you're fucked.
That's always my fear. Like, that's always been a fear of mine. Because I think it happened to me at a young age with a game. I don't know if it was like Mega Man or something happened. And I couldn't beat the game. Like, I just couldn't.
Yeah, you hit that wall.
Yeah, and I was like, this is, like, traumatizing. Like, I don't know. I don't remember what happened, though. I don't remember what game it was.
You've blacked that memory out.
Yep, like, it's repressed. It's very repressed. But...
So all in all, Automatron pretty solid.
I'd give it a if I had to numerically rate it, probably a 7.8, maybe an 8 out of 10.
Yep, I'll
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay.
Although it's not if you're kind of burnt out on Fallout 4, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that new spark.
Because once, like, I beat it in 2 hours. It was fun, but it didn't really pressure me to go back into the game after that.
It'll be a good long-term planned DLC when they sell the inevitable, Ultimate Edition or Game of the Year Edition, where it has all the stuff in it. Because, like I said, it's a natural expansion of everything already in Fallout 4. So. When you play this, later down the line, you already have it accessible. It's just going to be kind of natural, and it's going to feel right, and I think it'll work out to the game's advantage later on.
Personally. Yeah, but it's not a reason to go back and play, like, remake a new character.
Yeah,
for 40 hours.
Yeah. If you skip out on it, which I mean, it's only $10, but like if you do skip out on it, like
you're not going to be missing much.
Yeah, you're not going to miss a lot.
But it's fun enough, and I like that it is, and I said this before, but I like that it is $10. You know, it's nothing crazy.
And if you wear the Silver Shroud costume, you can have unique dialogue.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, well, because the Mechanist is an enemy in the Silver Shroud.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. So
I wear the trench coat. I don't wear the hat though.
Yeah, no, you can go through and it's nothing massive, but it is kind of funny.
Just little stuff.
How there was a cool detail that they thought to do that.
Well, yeah, I thought that was a fantastic idea in my opinion. They really seem to, it's a small little expansion, but still, they seem to right some wrongs. If you noticed, when you're in dialogue, the preview for how long like your text is enormous now. Like they really show you what you're going to say. They specify a lot more now.
I have the mod, so it wasn't doing that for me.
Oh, okay. Well, they also have a lot more little details in the game. Like I said, the Silver Shroud thing. Also, there's multiple endings for the DLC, which is always nice.
Is there? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Okay, let's not get
No, just a good and bad ending, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then one more little thing I have to add. I really liked how, since you're focusing on robots, you have a lot more of an opportunity to like cripple limbs and stuff. So if you have a fast melee robot, it's really fun to try to pick off their legs versus, because they can take a lot of hits. So unlike a lot of the squishier enemies, if you've over leveled, like you can take out body parts of a robot without them dying, and it's kind of fun fucking with them like that.
Yeah.
See,
What
okay,
were you
I
gonna
have
say?
a question. I have a question now, and this is something all of us can answer. We don't have to have played the DLC to do this, but would you rather have a robot like, okay, so for instance, I set Ada up, the main robot companion you get. I set her up to be able to like have like Gatling gun, like laser guns, and they're fucking crazy. So, and she does damage with them. But would you rather have them like a range setup or a melee setup for your robot companion?
Melee OP though, like melee is so
melee is-
hard.
I made a build video for it. Like I put gameplay on survival mode, like before the overhaul, mind you, and they do some insane damage.
You put those stealth blades
Sometimes,
on there? Oof.
yeah. Sometimes the game like AI breaks naturally, and so like your companion won't do anything. So that's when it kind of doesn't
but
work
that's
out.
my fear with it, is like that nothing will happen. You know, I don't know. I haven't messed with it. Max, what would you do?
Well, I like to touch things, so I'm definitely going melee with that.
Thank you for the info, Max.
So our next piece of news, I don't know how I can naturally segue after that, but I'm gonna try to. P9's confirmed on Twitter that Far Harbor will be bigger than Shivering Isles. Now, this goes without saying since Bethesda did say it was their biggest landmass expansion, but I guess the confirmation is nice because Shivering Isles was a very long time ago, and some people were like, well, yeah, Bethesda did make it, but are they thinking of that when they're talking about this? Are they referring just to Fallout expansions, whatever? But yes, Pete confirmed that, yeah, it's going to be bigger than Shivering Isles. And if you guys haven't seen Shivering Isles, I suggest you Google the map for it because it's like a whole nother Oblivion. It's a really big map full of new locations and weapons and armor and all that stuff. So to see that Far Harbor is going to be bigger than that, you can see where their efforts are going. Where even if you weren't a huge fan of Automatron, you can see that, wow, when Far Harbor is going to be bigger than that map, it's really exciting.
I'm excited for that.
That's pretty
The Harbor
awesome.
one is the one that I'm looking most forward to as well.
That's what everyone's been saying. Everyone's like, oh my god, Automatron, Wasteland Workshop are a waste. Just give us the real DLC, not glorified mods. Oh.
But I mean, it's free. It's free DLC that otherwise we wouldn't be getting. So I mean,
I'm not complaining. I enjoyed Automatron, but like, I think like everyone most excited for Far Harbor. Some people are pretty excited for Wasteland Workshop though. I'm pretty excited for that. I think it'll be interesting.
No, it'll be neat seeing a Bethesda take on a mod like thing. Like they made it clear with the robot modeling in this that even though it's like something you'd find on a mod, they put a lot of detail into it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much detail they put into the upcoming one.
I mean, they kind of did that with Hearthfire for Skyrim.
Hearthfire was so awesome.
Yeah, like
God,
someone was like, "Oh my god, Matty, you thought," because I said that Dawnguard was my least favorite DLC for Skyrim. And
Yeah.
he was like, "But Matty, what about Hearthfire?" I'm like, "Well, at the time I was a console player, so I didn't have these house building mods.
Yes.
So I really liked Hearthfire for what it was, and I put a lot of time into it for a $5 piece of DLC because I really enjoyed
too.
building the house, and like it added like the kind of getting items in Skyrim, like that kind of worth.
Yeah,
which I
that
thought was
game
fun.
drew me back into Skyrim. I hadn't played Skyrim in at least a year, and
Max,
that got me back into it.
Sorry, Max, did you play Hearthfire at all?
I love building houses.
Yeah. Do you build them like on a normal basis?
Of course.
How many basements do you have, like, where you keep bodies? Like, of those houses?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good answer. Oh my god.
But no, Hearthfire was awesome. It was also, it helped my YouTube channel not
Yes,
blow up, but it helped it
Hearthfire
out
for
because I did the
Dummies.
Hearthfire for Dummies. I could totally do the Automatron for dummies, but Automatron, however you say it, I don't know.
I used to say Automatron, but then everyone was like, yeah, people were like, oh, it's Automatron. I'm like, oh, jeez, I can't
That's
read.
not how you say it. Like, I just picture how angry people got.
Like, some kid's gonna come up to you at fucking PAX East and just, like, kick
Stab
you in
me.
the dick and say, it's not how you say it.
MrMattyPlays, more like Mr. Matty doesn't know how to speak.
You need
Then
to
I'll
hire a
high
fucking
five his
bodyguard.
12-year-old friend, like, good one, dude.
You gotta hire like your own Secret Service, Matty.
I know.
One thing I want to do at E3, Matt, is take a bunch of pictures with people if they're fans or just anyone, and tweet all of them saying that every one of them is Lone. So we
Yeah.
tweet like 15 pictures and say like,
Lone
oh, it was
face
so
reveal.
awesome to meet
Lone
Lone.
face reveal.
Yeah, Lone face, but each one just being a different person, you know.
No, but make even better, like make Lone actually be out there, but nobody knows which one he is.
Exactly. We'll work him
Yeah.
in there, you know, but no one will
Photoshop
know.
it.
No one will know. Yeah. But Lone, I can picture Lone here saying, we're not doing that." Like with his fucking laugh.
No. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding? No.
We are not doing that.
And then he'll go make toast for his girlfriend.
Yeah. I like my eggs poached.
Poached.
Fucking
What does he call shrimp again? We went
Prawn.
over this. It was a big deal.
Prawns.
God damn.
Problems on the Bobby.
Prawns.
God, I hate Lone. I hate him
Fuck
so
you,
much.
Lone. I hope he hears this. Fuck
Yeah,
you,
so
Lone.
do I. You fucking
Prick.
he skipped the podcast to go be with his girlfriend on Easter weekend.
I don't
like,
have an issue
like
with
why?
that.
Yeah, why are you prioritizing laying the wood, bro? Like, who cares?
Honestly,
Isn't
bro,
talking about video games more important?
podcast before oh god, my girlfriend's gonna hear this.
She listens.
Podcast before pussy?
My girlfriend beat me in Mortal Kombat
Oh.
versus DC Universe. The thing is, okay, I suck at fighting games. I'm gonna preface that. She loves fighting games. So we went into this kind of at like the same level of skill, and she kicked my ass.
Who is she
Like-
maining as?
She liked Sub-Zero. She was kind of main for Sub-Zero, and then I made a rule. I was like, no, we have to change our characters each time we play.
Yeah,
And
no.
of course, when we did that, I started beating her. But
No,
I
have
kept
to
doing
do.
uppercuts. It was kind of a cheap. I was being a dick.
I have to do the same thing with my girlfriend. Every time we play a fighting game, she finds the cheapest, spammiest character, and will use that to kick my ass. So I have made the rules since, and thankfully she agreed to it. We always pick random character. Like, we go to the random option and just let it choose for us.
There's no fucking option in that in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
See, I play Street Fighter with her, so.
Is Street Fighter on Xbox?
Yep.
All
The
right,
free version, because I'm a poor normie.
There's a free version?
Yeah, it's like Street Fighter Ultra. I don't know if it's still free, but they had a free weekend, and
I'm gonna look it up.
it's like the arcade edition. And yeah, so if you ever want to get your ass kicked by your girlfriend on Street Fighter,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
not
she
5,
loves
I'm sorry,
Street Fighter.
Street
She
Fighter
likes
4.
She likes
Somebody's
Street
gonna
Fighter.
tell
She
her.
likes Dead or Alive. Those are the
Does
two.
Oh,
she
she
like-
basically she likes basically porn in a fighting game. Is what
Yeah.
you're
Well,
telling me.
she said to me, she's like, I don't know why the boobs always move in Street Fighter. She's like, that's not how they work.
No, I was talking about Dead or Alive. Dead or
Dead or
Alive.
Alive.
Dead or Alive. I meant Dead or Alive, not Street Fighter.
Because
But-
in Dead or Alive, I played growing up, and I remember I got the demo when I was like 7, and like I was basically rocking a Woody the whole time because I was like, "Wow, this is
A Woody.
incredible."
But you don't even play Rumble Roses X. Come on, dude, get it
I was
together.
not expecting that use of the word.
You
Oh,
got a
Woody.
friend in me.
There's a snake in my butt.
What the fuck?
Anyways.
Doom. Demons, power weapons, and power-ups. This is going to be a long read. Hopefully I can get through this without coughing my brains out.
Oh, I hope you
So
do.
basically there is a new piece on Bethesda Net detailing some new demons that you can use in multiplayer, some power weapons you can get in multiplayer, as well as power-ups. And so it's really interesting. The first one is the Baron of Hell. When you need to overpower other players, the Baron of Hell's brute strength is unmatched. The Baron is perfect for those who want to rush right into the fray, dishing out the pain with vicious melee attacks and brutal glory kills. And if you ever find yourself surrounded as a Baron, use your ground pound, oh boy, this is an awful start, to damage a group of foes. While the Baron is formidable, he is not flawless. If you find yourself facing a Baron, it's best to stand back and aim for its head or spine. Next is the Revenant. With its speed and agility, the Revenant is all about outmaneuvering its foes and then overwhelming them with its deadly dual missile launchers. While the Revenant can't glide through an entire map, it can fly for short periods thanks to its jetpack, allowing it to leap over gaps, hover past hazards, and deal damage from above the fray, making its explosive missiles even more powerful thanks to the potential splash damage. Revenants are relatively weak for a demon, so players can chip away at their health. A shot to the Revenant's energy core will also deal big damage. Next is the Prowler. This is going to be a long read, so I hope everyone's really buckled in here.
I'm buckled in, Matt.
Okay, good. Next is a Prowler. Just like the name suggests, this multiplayer exclusive demon is great for tactical players who like to lurk in the shadows and ambush enemies before retreating back to safety. The Prowler can leap to most surfaces, jumping from a high point to high point, getting into position and waiting for the right moment to ambush an unsuspecting foe. Capable of killing a Marine in a single blow, the Prowler can see enemies even through the walls, allowing it to set up its attacks and execute with deadly precision. Shut up, Duke. With low health and no ranged attacks, the Prowler is most vulnerable when it's on the ground surrounded by foes. The last demon that they detail in this article is the Mancubus. As slow and shambling as it looks, the Mancubus is a portly powerhouse who can crush his foes with long-range rockets while soaking up damage thanks to its high health. Its rocket barrage isn't the most accurate, but when you want to clear out an area, these arcing explosive shots can do the job like nothing else. The Mancubus also has a powerful short-range area of effect venting attack that builds up from the heat generated when he fires his rockets. If he doesn't vent, he risks overheating, but when he doesn't vent, when he does vent, the Mancubus can destroy anyone foolish enough to get close. Okay, so those are the demons.
Okay.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Fucking.
Oh shit! Goddamn.
I'm not done yet. Power
Wait,
weapons.
I got a
now.
quick question. Though.
All right, what's up, man?
If I play as the Revenant, can I win an Oscar?
I was gonna make a joke about it. God damn
I
it.
beat you to it.
Do I have to wrestle a bear?
That's a band. Go look up.
He's done so many better acting jobs in movies than the Revenant. Like
Revenant was so
90% of the Revenant is oh.
Have you actually seen The Revenant, Matt?
Yes.
Did
Okay,
you?
what do you think of Wolf of Wall Street?
I actually haven't seen that though.
God damn, watch that. That
haven't
may
seen
be
that
better
either.
than the Revenant. That's
was
a
amazing.
good fucking movie. Like, watch that movie.
Is that a Tarantino movie?
No, that's
Why did I think it was a Tarantino movie?
because you're. I don't know.
Oh.
I love the gays. It's cool.
I was gonna
Cut
say,
that
I
out.
was like,
Cut
I'm gonna
that
watch
part
you.
out.
I'm gonna
Cut that
watch you pick this up on a live podcast. Let's watch you pick this up. I'm not gonna help you.
Let's go on the drama alert.
Gauss Cannon. Fast and ferociously accurate, the Gauss Cannon fires speedy slugs that can go to distance and blow through multiple foes without any loss of power. And the chainsaw, if you hear the guttural roar of the chainsaw, you best get out of the way. This Doom favorite delivers an instant kill to any Marine and can quickly slice away at a demon's health. The BFG 9000, just like in classic Dooms, the BFG continues to live up to its name. It's a charged projectile. Will not obliterate only anything in its blast radius, but also dishes out the pain to anyone along the way with tendrils of electrical energy. So those are the power weapons. And then the power-ups. We have invisibility. Sounds obvious. Haste. Why go fast when you can go even faster? Not only are you speedier and can make longer leaps due to your enhanced momentum, but your rate of fire is also increased and some weapons will charge faster. Regeneration. Rush into the fray with a bit of extra swagger. Thanks to regeneration, for a limited time, your health and armor
Swagger.
will recharge. And then
got
quad
that
damage,
swagger.
which is obvious. So yeah, that's the whole piece right
Matt,
there.
what's
If you-
quad damage? It's not obvious.
Yeah. But basically, if you guys want to give that a look, those who are listening, you can go ahead and do so, because they have some GIFs underneath each one that kind of show some of them in action, which is always very cool.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah, I'm excited for Doom.
I am too. I've gotten more and more excited about it since talking about it on the podcast, quite honestly. Max, what are your thoughts on Doom?
I am creaming up for Doom.
He's creaming up for it. You heard it here, folks.
You have to make it sexual, don't you?
Please make, like, a YouTube parody or something of a Doom trailer, Max.
We're begging you.
Max is like, I'll do what the fuck I want to do.
Max, have your parents seen your YouTube channel?
No.
Okay, Matt, have your parents seen your YouTube channel?
Yes, obviously.
I don't think they have. Have they
they
seen
have.
your live job?
You need to bring them on as a guest, Matty. The H.A.M Radio
right.
Podcast featuring MrMattyPlays parents.
Matt's dad. Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
What's up, dudes? How's it going, YouTuber community?
Do it no
I'm not gonna say any of your parents' names, Matt, but I picture your mom there like, how's it going, guys? Your mom has
Why
a
did you make her sound Canadian?
well, she has like a thick New York accent, and sometimes I have issues doing that. I can't do it.
You just sounded so Canadian. Though.
You really
I'm
did.
very
I was
nice.
about to
Your mom's
ask if you're
very nice.
You're
You're
like, how's it going, guys? Eh?
How's it going, guys?
You want some maple syrup, eh?
So that concludes our Bethesda news roundup. Now on to our favorite news bits and what we're playing.
You buddy.
Who wants to go? Max.
Yeah,
You go.
You go.
You go.
first.
You go first, Max. Go on. I'm Max.
My favorite news bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Go on, man. Go on. Do it.
Did y'all hear about Portal 3?
I did not.
What the fuck, are you for real?
No.
God damn it,
Piece
Max.
of shit.
Are you serious?
BRB guy's gonna go kill myself.
Did you hear about Half-Life 3?
It's like, no, really, they announced it.
No, but really, what's
Dead
your
serious.
news, bud?
Okay, for real, the Walking Dead season 3 is going to be coming out this year, so I'm excited for that.
Well,
That
yeah.
is a good one.
Are you looking forward to the Batman one in Telltale?
Batman.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're doing a Batman one, and it's gonna be. Like I'm excited for that. I haven't been excited for a Telltale game since The Wolf Among Us, but they're doing like one more Batman, where he plays like Bruce Wayne, and then like your decisions as Bruce affect like what happens when you're Batman, and vice versa.
Okay, that sounds
Nice.
pretty good, actually.
See,
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
yeah. I'm not gonna.
I mean, well, because like I heard on a podcast, it was actually even funny enough because Noah's gonna crack a joke. It was actually Greg Miller, and no, he said something like, you know,
Yeah,
Telltale
fuck
is like, I feel like what?
Nothing.
No, fuck. Shut the fuck up. No, okay, you fucking cocksucker. So, he said something like, you know, Telltale's almost like a, I forgot what word he used, but basically like they produce stuff for everyone, and not everything's going to be your cup of tea, and that's why they make so many different IPs and stuff like that. Where like, you know, you may not want to play Minecraft Story Mode or Game of Thrones, but you'll want to play Batman and The Wolf Among Us, for example. And so I'm pretty excited for the Batman one. It's supposed to come out, I think, this summer. So that'll be really enjoyable.
Okay.
The only issue, though, is that they start up all these different games, and then everyone obviously wants a season 2. There's always that group, that audience that wants a season 2. And then you're stuck with like a Wolf Among Us kind of thing where it's been like 2 years or something like that. And there's no season 2.
This is the issue with starting so many goddamn story-driven
Yeah.
IPs like this. You know, you have 40, and it's like, okay, guys.
But don't worry, dude. They're doing 8 episodes in a single season for Minecraft Story Mode.
God,
yeah.
fuck
You know
that
how
game.
fucking dumb that is, too?
Fuck that.
I've watched some of it too. APL Fisher streamed it, and I've watched it. It's the dumbest thing in the world. It's like a long ass Captain Sparkles Markiplier video.
It's so
It's
bad.
just like,
but here's
god
the
damn
worst
it.
part.
Look, I don't have anything against those guys at all. They just make videos for a different crowd. That's fine. That's awesome. They get the views for it. Awesome. But it's just like, that's all it feels like. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's
Anyone-
pandering. It's fucking.
Anyone want to hear a fun fact? Speaking of Captain Sparkles,
Do tell.
what?
he used to run a channel with 30K subs called Pros Don't Talk Shit, and I did a dual commentary with him on
Yep.
that channel.
Really?
Still have
And
them added on Skype, don't you?
I do still have him added on Skype. And when I was like hungering for subs, when I was stuck at like 20K and had like nothing going for me, I kept messaging him every now and then. We're like, hey man, what's up? Do you remember me? And he had his thing on Do Not Disturb. And I was like, yeah, like once I finally like, you know, screwed my head on, I was like, all right, I'm just going to remove him now. But,
Oh, you removed him?
Yeah, I mean, what like, why would I have Captain Sparkles on my Skype friends list?
I have all sham.
You're
no
gonna have
wow.
so many 12-year-olds messaging asking for his contact info.
I have all
I'm
sham.
not.
Oh wow, on my Steam friends because I played one game of Counter-Strike with him, and I've like never talked to him again. But it's like I could.
I remember when I was younger, I saw some guy named All Sham No Wow on PS3, and I messaged him. I'm like, "Are you the YouTuber?" And he's like, "Yeah." And like, I ended up messaging him on YouTube, and I was like, "Hey man, we played a game of Call of Duty together. It's pretty cool." And he was like, "Yeah, that wasn't me." I was like, "Oh fuck."
Fucking idiot.
Well, it's cool that he replied to you.
Yeah, but that was back when like YouTube messages were like a common thing. Like, it wasn't really difficult to dive into the depths of your messages.
Well, it was like Adam Kovic replied to me on Twitter, and someone tweeted to me and was like, "Noah, Adam Kovic replied to you. You're moving on up." Like, God damn it. Like, I asked him if he was going to E3. He said no. So
Too cool for E3.
what?
Too cool for E3.
No, none of the Funhouse guys are going to E3 apparently,
I
which
don't know
really
why.
bummed me out. But
If you
You
guys-
could have been like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Noah from Ham Radio. You may have heard of me."
yeah, and then they'll be like,
You're like,
I
no.
don't know you. And I'll be like, "You got any job openings?" And I'm like, "No." You know? Like, all right, I'm gonna go back now to my group. But-
So, who would like to go next? What game you're playing? What's your favorite news bit?
No, well, okay, I didn't actually. Max, what are you playing?
A little bit of KOTOR too.
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
you're trying
Here you go,
to get
bud.
on my good side here.
Are you on his bad side, Matt? Or
No.
Max? I don't. I'm just kidding. But
Good choice. Is it
Thanks,
like your
man.
first time through?
Yes, it is.
Oh
Ooh.
jeez.
Make sure you get the content expansion mod off the workshop if you're playing on Steam.
Yeah, I did.
Like, okay, good. That's a must.
I can I go next?
Sure.
My news is that Rockstar is porting quite a bit of their games over to next gen. So Xbox One, PS4, and stuff. Bully was recently put on.
That's just Manhunt, which I was a little surprised.
Yep. I don't think any of the Grand Theft Autos have been, at least in terms of like Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City or San Andreas. I don't think they are at all. But Bully is, which I think Red Dead is too. Or Red Dead is going to be.
I think Grand Theft Auto was one of them when the system first launched. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure- I think one of the Grand Theft Autos was. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, and I could be wrong too. But what's it called? That's there. It makes me excited because it makes me hope that Red Dead 2 will be talked about at E3.
Yes.
That would make me
I need that game.
happy. Yeah. And then also, I've been playing Fallout. I've been playing the DLC, but I've also been playing Battlefield. I said this last week, but I've kind of like moved back to Battlefield a little bit because just by myself, I've just been playing them and having fun with it. I don't know.
Which one?
4.
Yeah, Battlefield 4 is just a fantastic game. Like,
I'm just having fun with it. I don't know. I forgot like how much I liked it.
well, all the free DLC is great too.
Well, I've been watching. Well, if you have premium, but I've been watching Neebs Gaming. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. Some of the listeners may have, but they do a lot of Battlefield videos. So I've been like watching them and then wanting to play. You know what I mean? So it's like a
Yeah.
double effect. But yeah,
Cool. I don't have much, so I'll go ahead and go next. I actually don't have any news. I've been looking around and I haven't really found anything that we haven't covered. Nothing huge.
wow, John.
I know, right? Dropping the ball. No, but I will say I got on a Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 kick for like 2 weeks because Maddie gave me a copy and I think I put,
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, man. I think I put 50 or 60 hours into it, like
Jeez.
nonstop.
Jesus. Wait, what did he give you a copy of? Plants vs Zombies?
Garden Warfare 2.
Okay.
I still have 2 copies for you and Lone.
Aren't they only on next gen though?
No, they're on PC, and I put them in the
fuck,
group
my
chat.
bad.
I put them in the
it's-
group chat, and no one fucking redeemed them.
Oh, dude, my bad. If you give me mine, I'll do it. That was my
Yeah,
bad.
I'll play with you, Maddie's
I was gonna say, yeah, that'd be a fun game to do a video on.
It's a lot of fun, but I finally took a break from that because I'd unlocked a ton of shit. I was like, all right, I need to do something other than this game because I feel like a neckbeard. And I actually, I went back. I always feel like a neckbeard. I actually went back to War Thunder, and I hadn't played it in
War Thunder,
like a
wow.
year. It's a lot of fun. I mean, their model is still shit. It still encourages grinding, and you're not going to get anywhere if you don't buy premium. But I have a lot of fun with it. I just played in my spare time with the tanks I've unlocked. I'm never actually going to put money into it. But for what it is, it's a lot of fun. If you're ever bored and you like World War II shit, it's way better than World of Tanks. I mean,
I was
fuck
gonna
World War
say,
Tanks.
I was about to say, Matt and I played World of Tanks once, and apparently that game is fucking huge.
It's huge, but it's way too arcadey. The difference between War Thunder and World of Tanks is War Thunder is realistic. Like,
Takes. Okay.
yeah, World of Tanks is pretty much like you have to. It's hit points. All they have is hit points. But if you're playing tanks in War Thunder, like you actually have to take out the driver and like the different components of the tank and shit. And then if you're playing with planes, it's kind of the same thing. Like you can shoot and it won't do any damage if it misses everything. So it's more realistic, more clunky. I like it.
Yeah, Matt and I were just messing around with it, if I remember correctly. I don't think we were really into it, but it's a neat concept. I think the whole tank warfare thing it's interesting that it takes off.
It's popular. I actually tried Obsidian's tank game last night. They have Armored Warfare, and their quote-unquote difference from the competition is it's supposed to be like modern, like 50s to modern, but there's just no players on it. Like, unfortunately, I love what it's doing.
No offense, but the most unappealing combination of things is saying tanks and MMO to me.
I have
It's
to
not an
agree with
MMO,
Matt,
though.
honestly. Well, like free to play or massive free to play.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't know.
yeah.
It's just I got to agree with Matt. I just have no interest in it.
Oh yeah, no,
Cool idea to like test out for maybe like a game jam or something, but aside from that,
I'm glad
cancel the
I'm glad
project now.
It like people enjoy it though. It's cool to see that it's like a whole genre of its own. Like that's
Oh yeah, it makes so much fucking money. Like there's MLG for it. It's actually an MLG game.
It's neat, but it's something I try to stick away, if I'm honest, from free to plays because I don't like the model.
I very rarely have found free to play games I like model wise.
Now here's the backwards thing to that. Some people argue that free to plays are something that you play it for free, obviously, and if you put money into it, that's the value you're putting the game at. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. At the same token, I don't like free to plays where it's pay to win. No one does. You know what I mean?
But isn't like Hearthstone? Isn't that
Hearthstone
like
is free to play? Hearthstone's free to play. It's a simple free to play, if you want my honest opinion. But it's some people may very, very heavily disagree with me on that. But I think a really good example of a free to play done right is Dirty Bomb. I do like Dirty Bomb.
Maddie and I play that sometimes.
Yeah,
Dirty Bomb is good.
Dirty Bomb's fun. That's the game I stream a lot.
I know it sounds like a cop out, but Fallout Shelter. That's
good.
I mean, it's a good mobile game. You know, I'm talking about mainly just PC games. But
PC. Okay.
You know.
I got another one. Actually. It hasn't come out yet, but what's the game? Fuck, Dreadnought. The beta starts really soon, and that is, at least from what I've heard, their free to play model is going to be really good. Because it's more focused on it's not pay to win. All of the purchases, at least from what I've interviewed them, it's they say they haven't even worked on the free to play model yet, but it's only going to be strictly cosmetic. As for what you can unlock in the game, everybody unlocks at the same rate. There's no like increased XP gain if you get one system or the other. And I mean, granted, it hasn't happened yet. You got to try it out, but keep an eye out for the Dreadnought beta because it sounds like it's gonna be pretty lit.
That's pretty awesome.
That's all. I'm done. I contributed.
As for me, I'm currently playing a game that is embargoed, so yeah, I can't really say what I'm playing other than I'm playing a game I can't talk about.
For my awesome.
Yeah,
that's good for you.
Thanks, Lone.
Real proud of you there.
I abide by my contracts. So my favorite news bit though is Ratchet and Clank has gone gold.
Oh, for real?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Right,
it comes out April 12th, I believe, and like it got me thinking. I'm like, where's the new Sly Cooper? Where's the new Jack and Daxter? Like, if they're making the comeback here,
I asked for a PS4
they're making the
for
movie.
my 21st birthday.
I mean, what's interesting, is that technically this game, it's like a remaster of the first one, but also like a tie-in with the movie. Like, there's gonna be differences that tie into the movie, which I think is cool. And I thought like, well, they're doing a Sly Cooper movie, so it's like, are they going to be making a new Sly Cooper game? Like, because if I had to pick, like, in order, I'd say Sly, then Ratchet and Clank, then Jack and Daxter.
I'd want Ratchet and Clank first, and then Sly.
God, I hope the movie doesn't suck.
Well, because, like, Ratchet and Clank, like, will never die. They've been doing it forever, it feels like. Like, there's still
what I love about it.
Current ones to this day, you know, aside from that new one. Like, they did one a few years back, I think. It was, like, Into the Nexus or something like that.
It kind of sucked.
It was all right. It was like $30.
Okay, true. What was it like for for a cheaper game, it wasn't bad, but like compared to the originals, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was as good.
No, I hear you. But yeah, so it's like, it just got me thinking. I was like, damn, I hope there's more of the classics returning now, because they're trying to bring them into the movie universe. And apparently there was like leaked concept art of a Jak and Daxter 4.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh man, like I really hope so.
That would be pretty lit. Like, I hope that happens.
Because Jak and Daxter 4, or Jak and Daxter in general, had like really mature humor slid in there that like it made it so worth it playing it over a second time when you're older, because you pick up on so much other shit.
That's like going back and watching the like first 3 seasons of SpongeBob when you're older. It's just like,
Oh my gosh. So
when I
true.
went back through that, was an experience.
The best ones when I forgot what
Right
the exact quotes were, but like I think Squidward said it's like, isn't it Pearl's like time of the month or something along those lines? And like he like points into the sky, and like all of a sudden there's like a red blimp in the sky, and it's like symbolizing her on her period or something like that.
All I remember is there's the episode where SpongeBob and Sandy are doing too much karate in public, and it's disturbing people, so they have to stop doing karate in public, and it just gets really fucking sexual. Like that may be the most sexual episode that's out there. It's ridiculous.
What do they do?
It's basically it's just a giant analogy for not having sex all the time, and it is not subtle.
Wow.
It's been a couple months since I watched it, so I don't know the specifics, but the dialogue and the actual like what's going on in the episode, it is the most blatantly obvious thing ever. And I had been, like I said, I was marathoning the first 3 seasons on Amazon Prime, and I'm watching these like, oh my god, this was on television. Like,
that's amazing, because it was still like a good show growing up, where like I thought it was funny and whatever.
At least it was good before it got taken over by like strictly Nickelodeon and just became a kids cartoon. Because
I'm back.
I like it still though. I watched a new episode yesterday. Yeah, I watched a new episode yesterday, and
I thought it was
like,
over.
Good.
Didn't the series finally? Jesus Christ! They keep saying they're going to end it, and then they don't.
Because they can't end it. SpongeBob can never end. Someone will just take it over and just keep continuing on.
Like Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Teen Titans Go isn't that good.
I like Teen Titans Go.
You like it all? You're like the first person I get that enjoys it.
I just like Teen Titans more. Like
yeah. Well, so many people are like, oh, it's not as good as the first one, but it's 2 different things. Like Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go are 2 different genres. They're not the same thing.
Like Teen Titans Go is more of a comedy.
It's like a spoof. It's like a spoof of the original, and I don't know. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go back into my hole.
Well, that'll do it for what we're playing in our favorite news bits, and just jot down the time here. So now on to our fan questions. The first one comes from Why Hedgehogs Fly, and he's got a great question. He says, you've become the CEO of a game dev studio. You can purchase any IP. What would that be, and how would you change it?
Oh, shit.
This is a good one.
Ooh. That's a thinker right there. Shit.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll have to give me a minute. Now I'm thinking.
Matt,
for me,
does anyone have one? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about it much. I just kind of jotted down the question. But if I were to do anything, I'd take Star Wars away from EA.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
I'd start off with that. So now I have the entire Star Wars IP. I'd make a new Knights of the Old Republic.
Of course.
Yeah.
Would you make a New Republic Commando though?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Good. All right, that was the most important question because I might have had to hang up the call if you said no.
Yeah, they got to make that Imperial Commando. That long-winded rumor of an Imperial Commando.
Goddamn, dude, that would be so good if they did.
I hope one day.
Man,
I know it sounds like a cop-out to use KOTOR, but seriously, people, let's be honest that Star Wars license is somewhat, to a degree, safe in EA's hand because the game that Visceral Games is working on for Star Wars has been in development for like 4 or 5 years right now.
I hope it's not in development.
They haven't like announced it or anything yet because like I think it's like obviously it's going to release along one of the movies, so they're not rushing it whatsoever. So it shows that EA can kind of respect the game.
Yeah.
But like, you know, then you look at Battlefront, and you're like, well, I don't know about that. So, you know,
this
time
is
will
a hard
tell.
one.
Yeah, no, this is.
My mind wants to say like GTA or like any of the Rockstar IPs, but at the same token, I'm like, that's too easy. I'm trying to dig deep.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably buy the Skate franchise.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'd start pumping out like just because that physics engine is so good.
Yeah.
I'd probably start pumping out either just new Skate games or like, and the way I'd change it, maybe add like, man,
Annualize it.
either
location.
well maybe annualize it like biannual maybe, like probably add like BMX to it or something, you know, or like motocross
that
to
would
it.
I
That'd be
actually
awesome.
I actually
Just-
like that.
Just really like throw in a bunch of different extreme sports.
That'd
you
actually
know.
be pretty cool. Motocross.
Moto-
Yeah, because
Yeah.
with that physics engine, you could do a lot of cool shit.
Exactly. and I do miss the Skate. I want it to come back
That's a
so
good one.
badly.
I like
All
that.
right,
yeah.
I got mine too. It's I doubt any of you, me and Rob were talking about this in the chat yesterday, but I would buy, or at least a series, I would buy the rights to the Warhammer 40K games away from Games Workshop, because 40K, I don't know if you guys are into it or not, but it has a really cool universe. Like, it was the origin of the whole Grimdark thing. But Games Workshop will give the IP to pretty much anybody, and so about 90% of the 40K games that have actually come out are ass. Like, they are just low effort, shitty games. So if I could buy the entire IP away from them,
Except for
I would.
Vermintide. Vermintide's
Okay,
pretty good.
Vermintide's good, but that's not a 40K game.
Yeah.
But and they do that with a Warhammer franchise too. It just seems like the Warhammer medieval franchise goes to better companies than the 40K franchise. But no,
Yeah.
if I could, I would buy 40K and maybe give it out to, I don't know. Visceral would do some really good 40K games with their work on Dead Space, because that was Visceral, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like they could do some really good stuff. I don't know, just pretty much anybody other than the cheap ass developers they've been giving it to in the past.
What about you, Max?
Half-Life.
Oh, I didn't think about that quite
There
honestly.
you go.
What would you do differently?
Release it.
This kid.
Good.
Oh my god. Okay,
I knew he was gonna say just fucking
best
really-
answer. Best fucking answer. Hey, I'm gonna go home now. I can't top that. This podcast is over.
Yep. What's our next
Oh,
question?
Jesus.
Maddie?
It's less of a question and more of a statement that I found on Sugar Bomb that I thought deserved a little highlighting. It might give us some answers, some clarity, some closure. I believe the reason Lone can't show his face is because he's actually a descendant of Narcissus. If anyone sees his face, they'll fall in love with him. That's why he gets so many girls. He just has to show his face and they're his. This is also why he must hide his face, because then he'd risk seeing his reflection and falling in love with himself. That, or he could risk a massive amount of people falling in love with him and ensue chaos across the wasteland.
There was a
God
Rick and Morty
damn.
episode based on that
Yeah, that's
concept of everyone falling in love with one person.
That's Rick
it-
and Morty right there.
Yeah, it caused like a huge like war. No, it's interesting.
You Cronenberged it up. Sorry.
Yeah. That show, real quick, Rick and Morty is a fucking deep show.
My god.
There's a analytical video done about Rick and Morty, and it is so interesting.
I
but-
think I've watched that series at least. I think I've marathoned it at least 4 times, and I
it's so
keep
cool.
finding new things every time.
Yeah, it really is a neat show. But no, Lone can't show his face for reasons we really can't say other than his. You know, they're his reasons, and we have to respect them. Even though it can be a pain in the butt sometimes. You know.
Sometimes.
It adds to
Most
his
of the time.
persona. It's cool.
It does, though. In a way, I agree with John. It does add to that kind of who is he? You know what I mean? But yeah,
He's the Batman. I mean, clearly.
He is. He is.
Don't tell
Yeah,
anybody. I'm sorry. Do we need to cut that part out? Did I spoil it?
Absolutely. But what's it called? It's his own reasons. You know, and
He's just a pussy.
that's all. Okay, and that's all we can really say on that.
God damn it.
No, it's just being nice. I'm the one who cuts to the chase.
Yeah.
Leonidas Olympia says, most anticipated movie coming out this year. When he says to me, besides TMNT, Maddie. I don't know any other movies that come out this year.
I don't either.
Suicide Squad?
TMNT should not be
Civil
on
War.
your list.
Civil War is
What's-
gonna be.
Civil War. You gotta stop saying that, John. Jesus. What's it called? Civil War could either be really cool or fucking suck.
Ladder.
It's not going to be in any. There's no middle ground there.
Yeah, no, it's either going to be one or the other. Here's the thing, though. I read the comics. Like, I'm a huge fan of comic books. And the actual Civil War comic takes place over quite a few comics, takes place from both sides of, like, both points of perspective. And there's over, 75 heroes on each side. This is a 2-hour movie that looks like it's focusing on Captain America's perspective with 6 people on each side. Half of those people haven't even been introduced into the series thus far.
Yeah.
I just feel like it either needs to be a 2-parter or they need to push it back to when there's more people. I don't know. I feel like it's rushed. Like, oh shit, we might as well do this now before Infinity War.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel movies, for the most part, other than, and this is Deadpool and Ant-Man excluded, Marvel movies for the most part are not that great. I think they are so overrated. If you, I like the Avengers, for instance. The Avengers movies, I'm not talking about the comics, I'm talking about the movies, I think are the most overrated fucking things in the world. And I'm sorry, I'm going to get so much hate for this. But, like, Age of Ultron, I'm sorry. It was
I fell asleep in it, dude.
balls.
I just turned it off.
Like Ultron was like, how do we make Ultron super, like the way he looked sounded like someone described what an evil robot looks like over the phone. You know what I mean? Let's make him big and silver and with red eyes. Yeah, that sounds good. That'll make cool action figures. Like, come on, guys. I don't know. I thought it was shit.
Have you seen Batman vs. Superman?
I have not, but I've heard interesting things about it.
That's how you do fight scenes, dude. The fight scenes in that.
Here, I'm looking at a 2016 list of movies. I already found my most anticipated one.
What?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I already said that.
I'm leaning towards Suicide Squad.
I don't know if Rogue One comes out this year.
Yes, fuck Rogue One. Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. What is Rogue One?
Rogue One is it's a Star Wars spin-off movie. How it is. Yeah, it's every year. It's going to alternate between main movies and side movies, but this one takes place 7 years before. I'm going to nerd out here. It takes place 7 years before the first movie, and it's about a bunch of rebel soldiers. There's like no heroes, none of that. It's about a bunch of rebel soldiers trying to infiltrate the Death Star and blow it up or something like that. And it has Darth Vader coming back. As a role, and what they said is they kind of want to do it like, they didn't compare it to this, but it's gonna be like KOTOR 2, where it's a lot of morally gray. It's not all good and bad. So like, bad guys are good guys can be bad, etc. So it looks like they want to do a darker spin on the Star Wars franchise. It's still a core movie, so it's not gonna be people cutting each other's throats open, but it'll be interesting. And the director's really good. I can't remember off the top of my head what he's done, but he's made a lot of good movies that I've enjoyed.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be lit. I'm sorry, I had to.
I think I'm gonna go with Suicide Squad though, just because that seems really dark, and I like dark superhero stuff.
I do too.
So
I don't like Marvel.
Game.
Go watch Batman
Because
vs.
it's so
Superman.
happy-go-lucky.
Dark as shit.
But Batman vs. Superman is not Marvel. That's what I'm saying. It's DC.
Yeah. No, it's DC. But I mean,
DC has always been a little bit darker.
Yeah. But like even movie-wise, it has a lot darker tone than the Marvel films.
I've heard if you're going into Batman vs Superman expecting like Avengers, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
That's
However,
why people are mad.
I've heard though that it's more like it follows more of like a Watchmen line.
Yeah. No, that's well, and it's by the guy that made the Watchmen movie, so I mean that contributes. But no, I think that's why the critics have been shitting on it, is that the only real standard that they've had for like movies like this is Avengers. And no, this is not an Avengers movie. This is about as far from an Avengers movie as you can possibly get, which is a good thing. I think it's good.
They didn't like promote it that way, but with some of like the hirings they made and stuff, like they're like, okay, we got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, like they're getting all these different people in the movie apparently. I haven't seen it yet, mind you. I want to see it though. I'm
go see it. And
I would have seen it this weekend if I didn't have the fucking flu. But
go get everybody sick in the theater. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do want to go see it though.
Patient zero.
But I think that's why people went in kind of expecting almost like a Justice League movie. But this is the setup for Justice League apparently. So
it's a good setup. The fight scenes in it make Marvel movies look like I've said before, it makes it look like a middle school wrestling tournament. Like
I want to ask this though: does it do a good job of equally like showing both characters, or does it, because the trailers focused more on Superman?
Actually, it does do a good job.
Okay.
I'd say it's about 60-40 between Batman and Superman, but the only reason it is because we've already been introduced to Superman. So
Right.
Batman, we need a setup for his new character, who Ben Affleck does a really good job. But it's still very equally balanced. Both of them their reasonings behind eventually fighting are very well fleshed out. The
Good.
human emotion is very good. So I would say it's equal. I went in worrying that they were going to unequally distribute, but it's about fairly even. It goes back and forth between the two. So yeah, no, they did a good job. So
Nice.
That was a long silence right there.
Yeah, I was like waiting for someone to talk.
Yeah, I was reading my Twitter and I was like, okay.
But what's the next question then?
Keep it rolling.
We only have one more question from Brian MX34. Most DLC for Fallout 3 in New Vegas were larger expansions, so why has Bethesda gone in favor of more smaller content for Fallout 4?
Maddie and I were talking about that this week.
I think it might be just because then they can make big ones like Far Harbor. That's my guess, though.
Well, that doesn't make sense though. Why they could do big ones anyway?
But they could do.
Like
I'm saying they could do. It's much easier to do both.
I don't see how it's much easier to do both. It's more.
I'm saying it's easier to do like a smaller piece of content that doesn't take much effort.
The flow of content is better because you're having a little bit, then a lot, then a little bit, then a little bit. You're saying like that kind of.
Production.
I'm saying, yeah, like you make smaller DLCs like a Wasteland Workshop and Automatron, it takes effort, don't get me wrong, but when you compare that to how big Far Harbor apparently is going to be, I think it's because they're focusing their efforts on making that giant expansion, where if they did like and mind you, 3 in New Vegas, they really weren't like that big, except for Old World Blues. That's one that comes to mind that was pretty big. So was Lonesome Road.
Lonesome Road was fucking...
But like as for like 3, you know, it wasn't like the pit was incredibly long. Like none of these are really long.
The pit wasn't long.
The pit was kind of small. Yeah. I think
Point Lookout was decent.
Lookout,
Yeah, decent length. You know, like they weren't that much bigger. Where like me, I got about 7 hours out of Automatron, so that's not too bad. Where I'd say that's about a little bit more than I put into the pit. You know, the pit was just a story. And there wasn't much exploration there.
I think the real question is, are you the kind of person that wants, what's the Bethesda standard, 4 medium-ish scale new maps, or do you want 2 or 3 really, really large maps and then some small stuff sprinkled in? I think that's what it's coming down to. Like, how do you prefer your distribution of DLC?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, and don't forget, they do have a whole second phase of DLC. I'd imagine those could be like 2 new land masses, perhaps, that, you know, aren't as big as Far Harbor, but they're just new areas to explore. Maybe the size of like Dragonborn from Skyrim, like pretty big size, but like not ginormous.
Yeah. I'm hoping that ginormous. I'm hoping it's a good word. I'm hoping they add on something akin to Broken Steel, where it, like, for the last DLC, they really continue the story and bring it to maybe not a better, but a different end, because I know a lot of people weren't happy with the end of Fallout 4. And they kind of did that with Lonesome Road, but I'm hoping the last DLC is something more narrative-based to the original story.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Or
I mean, Bethesda might just start getting a knack for like making expansions of the story, though, and people will start to bitch probably. I mean, people are always like, why don't they make like include some of the new endings and stuff like that? I'm like, kind of, what's the point? Like,
don't Mass Effect it.
Honestly, yeah, like it's not like Fallout 4's endings were awful. It's just that they all ended in the same cutscene at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was a problem.
No, I think
other than that, it kind of I'm just saying in the scheme of things, there were choices involved. There just wasn't much consequence.
Yeah, no, I wasn't disappointed with the ending by any stretch of the imagination. I just I think adding on something that continued, because, like, you know, Fallout 3, the ending, a lot of people didn't like, but it wasn't bad. But, you know, Broken Steel continued on to it. Now, I will say that the game doesn't straight up end in Fallout 4 when you're done with it like it did in that. But I think it'd be cool to maybe bring on a whole new set of quests and story missions, even post completion, so to speak.
Yeah, no, that would be interesting. I mean, for me personally, though, like, if they already have 2 DLCs, which are going to be Automatron and Wasteland Workshop, focusing on expanding kind of like the base game, I think
Yeah.
that it's gonna be important after that with obviously Far Harbor, but with other places to take us new places, because I think
Exactly.
that's the hook with Fallout DLCs. Even if it's not a big area, it's fun going somewhere else.
Well, because the world's so neat. It's even if you're not getting a large section to explore, you're still getting to explore other parts of this fantastic world they've created. I'm hoping to see something in the memory den pre-war. I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying that, but oh
that's
my
something
god,
that could really be flushed out.
it is right there. Like it's right there. You have to go into the memory den. It's not like on Nellis Air Force Base where you could miss the simulator pods. So there's so much
it's
potential
in the main story. It's, I mean, I guess you could say Nellis Air Force Base could be a part of the main story, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of the simulation pods are somewhat out of the way. Like in Fallout 4, it's right in your face. Like, people are getting in them, talking about them.
Like ever since they were shown, people were talking pre-war. Go back into your memories, and so far there's not been any sign of it. In fact, I feel like the memory den is really underused. So I'm just crossing my fingers.
I think it's a setup. Yeah, I think it's a setup for DLC.
It's just there's just too much there for them not to do it.
Yeah.
But now, what would they do? Just give you a bunch of like memories that you could go out and get?
That's a conversation for another cast.
Or they just like send you to a new area and like it'd be kind of like Operation Anchorage.
I was gonna say I think
it might
like
be something
Operation
like that.
Anchorage.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, I don't know, like the initial assault of the Chinese mainland. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Max, I don't know your opinion.
Yes, please, Max. You're quiet. I feel bad.
On the DLC?
Yes.
Yeah.
I played the Fallout 1 and 2, and I really like those games. So maybe a nice DLC would be to like go back to there or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Something like
I
Watertown.
do know what you're saying, Max.
That'd be kind of cool.
I wish they kind of did something with San Francisco from Fallout 2.
Yeah.
They had the fucking boxing ring in the middle.
We could go make the prank call to the Enclave officers again.
Oh my gosh.
Do a little
Best scene
homage
in a
to that.
Fallout game ever. Hands down. That shit was amazing.
Come beat the shit out of you.
It's funny because actually he actually sends like a vertebrate to MODOK and like you actually get fucking killed.
MODOK
like-
also has great ambient music. Like I still have that
the best.
on my soundtrack right now.
Yeah, the best in a Fallout game as well, hands down. Because anytime I do like a really special video, I feel like I gotta use MODOK's kind of background music. I always got to do that.
MODOK is too good.
But anyway, that's all the fan questions, which means that this podcast is about to wrap up. So thank you to everyone who listened this far. And you know what we're gonna do to conclude this podcast?
What are we gonna do?
I want to have Max end it.
Yeah.
Max, end it. End this shish.
Okay, count me down, please.
3, 3.5,
Oh shit.
2, 1.
Maddie, I want you, Noah, Lone, and even Slendy to violently crucify me by forcefully impaling me with your cocks as you skin me alive with your teeth and your jizz coalesces with my blood as it runs down my body and Maddie says the word, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.
He's doing this off the fucking cuff. It's just natural for him.
Oh my god. Oh my god.